Magandang araw, Bulsuans! Narito tayo sa Bulacan State University upang mag-interview ng kapwa namin estudyante. Kaya, tara na! Ngayon naman, upang may makasama tayo na mag-interview sa kapwa natin Bulsuans, narito na siya!
Uy!
Kamusta ka naman, partner?
Ito okay lang naman pero sobrang init ng panahon ngayon. Pero hindi natin palalampasin ang katalinuhan ng mga bulsuan. Kaya genius, tara na! Ay ate, pwede po ba namin kayo ma-interview?
Ano ba yun?
Matanong lang po kung ano po pangalan niya at anong course niyo po?
Pangalan ko po, Trisha po. Tapos, nursing po.
Sa ngayon po, ilan na po yung naging valid ID niyo?
Bale, tatlo na po yung Valentine.
Sa pagkuha niyo po ng Valentine, nahihirapan po ba kayo?
Actually, meron ako dito national ID. Ito yung pinakamahirap kuhanin kasi alam niyo naman siguro kumuha na rin siguro kayo. 2 years inabot bago makuha yung ID. And bukod sa national ID, meron akong PWD ID sa Kaba.
Sige po, yun lang po.
Hindi po.
Ay, teka lang. Bago ka magpatuloy, alam mo ba madami na ang naging improvement sa sistema ng gobyerno mula na implement ang ICT 10 in e-governance? Traditional government relies on manual processes which can be slow and efficient, but some prefer it for the personal interaction it offers. For instances, citizens must physically visit government offices to apply for permits, engaging directly with employees. In contrast, digital government utilizes technology to enhance efficiency and save costs. Online solutions, mobile into applications, and digitized data improvement, accessibility, transparency, and accountability. Digital government allows residents to access service anywhere, anytime with data stored digitally for easy sharing. Here are the developments of e-governance. First, Philippine Governance e-Government Master Plan. The Philippine government has been implementing e-government master plan to enhance public service delivery through digital technologies. This plan aims to improve efficiency, transparency, and accessibility of government services to citizens. Second, Philippine Identification System (PhilSys). The Philippine government has launched PhilSys, a national identification system aimed at providing single official identification for all citizens and resident aliens. The system utilizes biometric data and is expected to facilitate access to government services. Third, online government service portal. The Philippine government has developed the GovPH portal. www.gov.ph has a centralized platform for accessing government services online. Citizens can avail various services such as applying for documents, paying taxes, and accessing information through this portal. Fourth, National Broadband Plan. The Philippine government has been implementing a national broadband plan to improve internet connectivity across the country. Enhanced internet infrastructure is essential for supporting e-government initiatives and ensuring access to digital services for citizens in remote areas. And lastly, digital payments and transactions. The Philippine government has been promoting digital payments and transactions to facilitate smoother and more efficient government processes. Initiatives such as the use of electronic payment system for taxes and government fees aim to reduce bureaucratic hurdles and enhance convenience for citizens.
Hello po.
Pwede mo ba namin yung interview?
Sige lang.
Ano po muna yung pangalan niyo?
Ako si Pablo.
Ano po yung trabaho program niyo ng course niyo?
Isang PCL.
So, gumagamit po ba kayo ng online mode of payment? So, ano pong klaseng mode of payment?
Giga.
Ano naman po yung na-experience niyo sa Gcash?
In terms of positive, convenience siya. Kahit wala akong dalang cash, pagbayad naman ako ng bills kahit nasa bahay natin na kailangan pumunta sa mga payment center. And then sa negative side naman, madalas sila nagdadaw. Then, Kapag wala kang internet, hindi mo rin siya nagagamit. Di tulad pagka yung may cash ka. Physical payment.
Okay po. So, pag, kunwari po sa example natin, pag pupunta po kayo ng 7-Eleven, naranasan niyo na po ba na nakain niyo na po yung hotdog and then nag-down po yung Gcash niyo?
Oo. Nakapangalahati ko na yung hotdog, tapos ninidilaman mo rin yung takunan. Tapos,
Oh, naranasan mo nun ba yun? Worry no more dahil hindi ka nag-iisa sa ganong XP. What if dagdagan pa natin ang experience at new learnings mo? So now, these are the advantages of e-governance. So first is improve efficiency. The ability of e-government is to increase efficiency of the current paper-based system is one of its primary benefits. So e-governance can minimize paperwork, streamline administrative processes, save time and money, and digitize government services and information. And the next one is the better communication. So better communication between companies and government is another benefit of e-government, which strengthens the economy and creates a more open market. And the next is accessibility. Citizens can access e-government services at any time of the day and from any location in the nation as society grows more mobile. And then this enhances the general consumer experience and makes public services more accessible. Last is transparency. So by giving the public access to information about government policies and activities, this enhances the government transparency. So this increase the transparency fosters citizens' awareness and engagement, potentially leading to greater accountability and better informed decision making. And the next one is reliability of information. Another concern in e-governance that the citizens may not be able to distinguish between accurate and false information, which could lead to misinformation and bias in public opinions. One is the hidden agendas. There are some government groups that may hidden agendas that could be influence and bias public opinions. Government system must be prevent these from happening and promote transparency and accountability. And the next is the impact of economic, social, and political factors. So the e-government has a wide-ranging implication for economic, social, and political realms. It has a potential to disrupt the traditional relationship between the governments and citizens, altering the power dynamics and potentially sparking social unrest. Next is the vulnerability to cyber attack. So cyber attack might be compromise private data and destroy the public trust in government by targeting e-government system. For e-government system to be protected against attacks, security must be a top priority. So next one is the cost. So e-government development and implementation can be costly, but the effectiveness of this system can be hindered by technological advancement. Therefore, the adoption of these technological platforms must be carefully evaluated, considering both current need and future requirements to ensure the long-term success. So last is inaccessibility. So e-government sites are often lack accessibilities for the users in remote areas with the lower literacy levels or in poverty line incomes, necessitating the need for a hybrid system to coexist with the e-government journey.
Here are the challenges in e-governance. Number 1 is technical issues. E-governance faces technical challenges such as security, privacy, and interoperability. Security concerns arise from internet transactions, while privacy concerns involve potential misuse of personal data. Interoperability issues hinder coordination, communication gaps, and data transfer capabilities. Addressing these challenges is crucial for enhancing the reliability and effectiveness of e-governance initiative. Number 2 is economic issues. Economic factors significantly impact the adoption and maintenance of e-governance initiatives. Governments face significant costs in implementing and maintaining services. To optimize resources, models must prioritize reusability, ongoing maintenance, and portability. This ensures software can be used by multiple agencies and aligns with citizens' evolving needs. social issues. E-governance initiatives face social challenges including accessibility, particularly for rural residents, language barriers, and inadequate infrastructure. Illiteracy and language diversity also hinder their use. To address these issues, efforts must be made to raise awareness among citizens, institutions, and government departments, promoting e-services and ensuring equitable access to e-governance platforms for all segments of society. This requires a shared responsibilities to promote e-services and ensure inclusivity.
Hello po, pwede po nalagyan may ito.
Ano pong pangalan niyo? Saan po kayo kayo? So, ang mga tanong po namin is, ilang oras po kayo na tatagay sa social media? So, habang po nag-a-attend po tayo ng kanya screening time sa kanyang cellphone. Ayun, zoom po natin.
Atak na rin. Wow, 4 hours!
4 hours at tagal na ang ating screen time, ha?
Ano po yung nagiging dahilan natin sa social media?
Madalas bored, libangan, tapos para outdated din sa mga pag nakikipagtsikahan, gano'n, messenger, gano'n.
In the study, the usage of e-governance application by the higher education students by Haidar et al., it was stated that there is significant relationship between the students' internet usage abilities and e-participation and e-governance. University students are assumed to be an active population of society that realizes participation in the governing process in their ICT capacities. The following are the benefits of e-governance in education sectors. First is the departmental efficiency increased and reduced duplication. The next is quick and easy preparation of reports. Then reduced harassment of the students. Faster and easier process of online information and submission forms and payment. Then easy connectivity of stakeholders such as management, faculty members, and students, and administrative staff, leading to enhanced efficiency and service delivery, then easy access to all information by all, and then reduction of transportation costs, time, space, and manpower.
Furthermore, technology has fostered transparency, accountability, and efficiency in educational institutions, providing students with better access to information and resources while allowing for a more individualized and flexible learning environment.
Transparency and accountability. E-governance project encourage transparency and accountability in educational institutions by offering access to academic policies, grading system, and institutional performance data. Communication and interaction. E-governance platform improve communication and collaboration among students, educators, and administrators. Email discussion forums and messages application allow students to communicate with their friends and teachers, seek academic support, and participate in group projects or extracurricular activities.
Madami naman tayo natutunan, Loli. Oo naman. At napakalang talaga na itutulong na ICT in e-governance, lalo na sa naranasan nating development sa gobyerno.
So, paano ba yan? Sa susunod na pagkita ulit natin ngayon. Ito ang Genius!